Good afternoon. Matthew Should Know is coming to you in a special decimals edition and some really improved, awesome graphics. Ladies and gentlemen, it is multiplying decimals today. And let's take a look at how to do that. Oh, look at the graphics. Absolutely fantastic. Not quite as fantastic as that donut was. All right. Yesterday, we talked about adding and subtracting decimals. And adding, subtracting decimals, if you remember, you must always line up the decimals. And that's the one thing I wanted you to take away from what we were doing yesterday. Today, you don't have to line up the decimals. We're going to be multiplying decimals, and there is something special we need to do at the end. Using this particular problem, we have 4 times 83 hundredths. Talked a little bit today about not letting that period get us confused in this math sentence. It's just an English sentence that ends in a period. I'm going to take the number with more digits and put that at the top of my multiplication setup here. And that's how I begin. You'll notice I did not line up the decimals. If I did, don't forget that 4 would have a decimal right here. That has nothing to do with what we're doing today. Now, I'm going to do old-fashioned multiplication here. 4 times 3 is 12. 8 times 4 is 32 plus 1 is 33. And we're going to carry the 3 over to here. And 3 plus nothing is 3. Oh. Yeah, 3. Okay. I'm not done. I have this decimal right there. Tell me I need a little bit more action here. Something has to happen. Well, going back to my old friend bounce, bounce, and sometimes it's going to be bounce, 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 and bounce, 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 bounce. You'll find a lot of bouncing in this. I'm counting 2 spaces away from the end. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. Bounce, bounce. So 83 hundredths times 4 is 3 and 32 hundredths. Quickly checking my work. Looks pretty solid. All right, let's go into another one. Here we have a very similar setup. We have a number with more digits. I'm going to put that at the top. Not worrying about the decimal right now, other than it exists. And I'm going to multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. Awful. Perfect. Going to see how many decimal spaces I have at the top. I'm going to bounce one over from the right. And I don't see any here, so I'm just going to bounce one over the right. So my answer is 42 and 6/10. See if we can get something a little bit more. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is a little different. And yet nothing, this nice thing about math for me is, even though the numbers are a little different, the rules remain the same. It's very constant, almost poetic in a way. Okay. Same setup. Here we go. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. We got a whole bunch of zeros. We can talk about annexing them later, but just for today, I want to make sure I have everything in order. All right. Bounce, bounce, bounce. There's 3 spaces. So down here, bounce, 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 3. And so my answer is 36 thousandths. I would like to get a word problem in here. No, that one. There we go. Fantastic. This word problem involves 2 things that we've learned so far in our decimals unit. First of all, I see multiplication. And second of all, well, I might see subtraction or addition. We'll find out. Batch of trail mix calls for 1 2/10 pounds of dry cereal. Agelia is, someone will probably write in and let me know how to pronounce that, is making 5 batches of trail mix. She already has 2 2/10 pounds of cereal. How many more pounds of dry cereal does she need? Oh, that how many more seems super important to me. Make sure I find how many more pounds. That's what I'm looking for. I think, first of all, one batch is this much. So 5 would be a multiplication problem. I could add 1 and 2/10 5 times, but why not just multiply? We have 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Now, she's not making 60 batches or 60 pounds. She needs, let's bounce that, 6. Okay. How many more pounds? Right now, she needs 6. And it looks like she has 2 and 2/10 already. This is, my friend, a subtraction problem. We have to find out how much she needs to get. I'm not sure where she's going to go. Maybe Dunkelberger's, maybe the John Hers, Jim Eschbach's. We're not sure. So let's subtract. And 1 over there. Okay. That's 8 and 3. So Nigella needs 3 and 8/10 more pounds of dry cereal to finish off her trail mix. And since I said the word trail mix, I'd like to read some viewer mail. I have a note from Joseph C. again, who says, almost 20 subs, nice video. Thanks, Joey C. We very much appreciate you and everybody else who takes a view of our screencast. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for checking in. Enjoy your weekend, and that's the maths you should know.